Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to go through some stages in Nightmare, and what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the Glorians synergy. For now, anyway, I don't know if it's going to change at Nightmare 25, but we'll just have to see about that. So, first things first, the Glorians team. What do they do? Let's break them down. Well, we'll jump in here at the actual hero synergy or the Valkyrie synergy effect. So at worst, you can have at the start of battle applies 2 stack of attack boost on the 3 allies with the highest attack for 3 rounds. This is if you have 2 Glorians on the team, and at the start of battle applies 2 stacks of defense reduction on the enemies with the 3 enemies with the highest attack for 3 rounds. So effectively, you give yourself additional attack and you take away the enemy's attack as well, or at least you take away the enemy's defense. So it makes it easier for you to swing and for you to kill them. Now, the second thing, at the start, so this is if you have 3 of them on the team. At the start of battle, applies 2 stack of attack boost for 3 rounds, 2 stacks of defense reduction on all enemies for 3 rounds, and at the start of battle, the ally team receives 100% control immunity for 2 rounds as well. This is a really, really powerful effect. It means that your team can't be stunned. It means that your team can't really be debuffed very much, besides corrode, potentially. It means that you effectively avoid all of that nastiness, like bind, like taunt, for example. Lots and lots of application for this, and it's what made the Glorians so strong right back at the start of the game. Since then, we've got other units that sort of go over this or go under this, whichever way you might want to say, but it is still a very powerful effect to this day. And even up to about 3 seasons ago, people were running the 2 Glorians plus having the proof of Glorians, which means that even though you had 2 Glorians on the team, you still got this effect. And the reason for that is because it avoided the banish mechanic. So we could see a return to form for this particular Glorian setup if banish does become, properly good. Now, the only difference here at 4 is you apply 3 stacks of attack on the ally team for 3 rounds, 3 stack of defense reduction on the enemy team. At the start of battle, allies receive 100% control immunity and 15% damage boost for 4 rounds. So again, if the more Glorians you have, the better off you'll be. And finally, at the start of battle applies 5 stacks of attack boost on the ally team, 5 stacks of defense reduction on the enemy team, and at the start of battle receive 100% control immunity and 25% damage boost for 8 rounds. So again, having full 5 Glorians will give you that full control boost for 8 rounds. That is a very long time to avoid being taunted, to avoid being bound, to avoid being stunned, to avoid just about anything, really. Silence is another one that comes to mind. But yeah, and the 25% damage boost is very, very effective. So I'm just going to go ahead and pause. Let's go ahead and build some teams, and then we'll see how we go. Okay, so this is the first team that we're going to build. This is a full 5 Glorians team, including Cleopatra. The reason that I've included Cleopatra on this is for the full 5 Monarchs as well. So having the full 5 Monarchs on your team will avoid getting one-shot. Really, really powerful, really effective stuff. It works very well alongside that damage boost that's provided by the Glorian synergy. Ally units will not take damage exceeding 30% of max HP for a single instance of damage, and every 1% of HP the target loses increases damage boost by an additional 2% up to 100%. So you can get, if your team is below 50% health, your entire team will have 125% damage increase. So again, very, very powerful effect. The lower that you go, the better off you'll be. Audrey here is a powerhouse. She will just absorb all of the healing provided by anything, any source, even enemies most of the time. And she will use that and convert it into her own attack. You'll also have a lot of help with Lee. So Lee, every time he is attacked, he builds up to 10,000%, something that we don't see altogether too often. But if we have a look here, leverage additionally, so if you have his exclusive runes, leverage additionally increases defense by 5% with a max limit of 1000% and 1000% defense as well. If you have 4 red runes, it goes up by 10% defense and 10% max HP as well. Unfortunately, I've only got him at half red runes, but this leverage effect is this one here. Gains a buff when attacked. Every 1 buff stacks attack, defense and HP, so he is building up and building up, which is why I thought he was excellent, especially paired with Lily and Leah. If you don't have Cleopatra for this build, then there is only one unit to run, and it is Nawi. And the reason that you would run Nawi in this particular setup is because of the Verdant synergy. So as you can see, you've got Lily and Leah and Nawi, all Verdians. We have lost out the Monarch synergy, but we are basically, we still get the damage increase based on health lost, which will play into Nawi very, very effectively. So either way, Cleo or Nawi, both great. Talinas and Lily and Leah come as a pair. So the reason for that, a lot of people have slept on this, until Talinas gets a skin, which I hope is soon. I really, really really would like Talinas to get a skin. But when an ally team is attacked, Talinas applies 1 stack of defense reduction, works okay. And then every 1% increase in Talinas' crit resistance, so we sleep on those. But it is this ultimate attack that does the business. Talinas summons Lightning Orb that attacks all enemies, dealing 450% magic damage. If she has 6 stacks of attack boost, applies stun on all enemies for 1 round. And if she has 12 stacks of attack boost, applies stun on all enemies for 2 rounds. That 2-round stun is super effective. And if she had a skin, it would put her in competitive range. But unfortunately, she does not have a skin. So it is what it is. And Lily and Leah work in tandem with that effect if you jump into their advance. When Lily and Leah is deployed, the limit of attack boost stacks is increased by 10, so you can get up to that 15 attack boost stack with Talinas. Another unit that I used to pair alongside those is Gwyn. The reason for that is because Gwyn does... Ooh, nice. We'll go ahead and level Gwyn up to 14 stars. We'll take that, not bad. But it's this passive here. When an ally is attacked, Gwyn applies 1 stack of attack boost on the ally team. So every time we are attacked, we apply that 1 stack of attack boost. If Talinas has more than 12 stacks of attack boost on her, she will stun the enemy team for 12 rounds when she casts her ultimate. So again, very powerful, but has been replaced on this Monarch team with Audrey. So we'll go ahead, switch these back round, and then we can go ahead and jump in like this. We'll have a look at this team for a couple of matches, and then we'll build another team, a more recent team, I would say. The only recent unit on this team, by recent, I mean sort of in the past 4 seasons, which is 8 months, pretty much. Now we're still doing the business here. Absolutely spot on. But Lee, here, as you can see, he is going to start to build up when we do get attacked. If we get attacked, but we don't. Unfortunate. But yeah, by recent team, I think Lee is the most recent unit on this particular build. And again, it is a very strong build, but the units are getting quite old now. Fortunately, Nawi has had a buff. Lily and Leah have had buffs. We've had no buffs for Talinas, unfortunately. I think she deserves a buff. She is one of my favourite characters of all time. A long-standing unit which helped me pass the story mode back in the day. The reason for that is because enemy Talinas was a real problem. I think it was 40-60 or 41-60, something like that. Had an enemy boss of Talinas. Just couldn't beat her unless you ran a full Glorians team and a full Glorian Monarch team at that. So, yeah, as you can see, Nawi will always do the most on this team. Nawi is just a powerhouse. In case you don't know about Nawi because you've just joined or you are a reasonably new player, Nawi has not been in the meta for a long time. But she still puts the work in. As you can see, we removed all of that holy armor off all of these enemies with Nawi's attack here. And it would have done tremendous damage had those holy shields not been in the way. Now, we are proccing with our Verdant synergy as well. Verdant is a pain for the majority of players. And the reason for that is because they've not got Lee fully built up, they've not got Lily and Leah fully built up, and they do not have Nawi fully built up. Now, Lily and Leah, with their exclusive runes, I've got them at full red now. So every time a Verdant synergy is triggered, we will be increasing our defense as well. Something to keep in mind, it is a very powerful effect. We do get the proc from Nawi here, and we can see that she is putting the work in. Again, she is so strong. Do not sleep on Nawi. She's really powerful. And we even awaken Sanctuary. Or we have Awaken, and we have Sanctuary on there as well. We don't need to see any more from this team, I don't think. So what I'm going to do, just build another team quite quickly, and then we'll jump back in. And here we are. So we've jumped back in, we've built our team now, and the first unit I want to talk about is probably one of the best units, Seraphina. Now, Seraphina, you might also know her as this Seraphina as well. Very good looking. But what she does is she provides healing, and a massive amount of healing as well. Seraphina heals all allies for 120% plus 5% of the allies' max HP. The second one is 36% plus 5% of the allies' max HP. Increases Seraphina's own heal rate. There's a difference between cure rate and heal rate. I believe heal rate is how much you... In fact, can we check on here? Where's it gone? No, over here. Here we go. So we have cure rate, advanced stat, affects amount of healing received, and heal rate is advanced stat, affects amount healed. So this is how much healing you receive, and this is how much you heal. So Seraphina increasing her heal rate by 50% really improves how much she can actually heal by. So effectively, you double the amount of heals that you get with her. And then when Seraphina is alive, there is a 50% chance to apply 1 stack of Blessing each time a unit is attacked, limit up to 3 times per round. So what does Blessing do? It's invincible when taking damage, immunity to 1 instance of damage and 1 debuff, which means that Corrode can't be applied, Bind can't be applied, Taunt can't be applied, all of that. So Seraphina, very strong. This blessing is very powerful. When Seraphina was first introduced, she changed the meta completely, because you had Glorians, not Glorians, you had Ethereals running the show, and Katrina was a massive part of that. Now, if you haven't seen Seraphina's runes, at the start of each round, if you have her epics, if the total number of buffs on our allies exceed 30, applies ignore shields to all allies for 1 round. That is so powerful. I can't understate how powerful that is, going through shields, especially in a meta where you relied very heavily on shields to win. Seraphina just came in and smashed people's opinions of what was acceptable and what was not, and it brought Glorians back into the fold with regards to being powerful within the meta. Now, Ariana, she was reasonably powerful when she was first released, but the problem is for Ariana, so she does avoid physical damage, is excellent, and the damage amount equal to 100% of her shield points. The damage cannot exceed 300% of her attack. For each star advancement Ariana has, she increases the damage limit of the shield detonation effect by 20% up to 400% times her own attack. So this means the more shielding she has, the better off that attack will be. She does that before performing her ultimate attack, so she dispels her own shields. Can leave her very vulnerable, but that's what the damage reduction is for, and then will deal massive damage to the enemy the higher the star level. And that is just about it for Ariana. I've not got her runes. I think her runes are very specific. I think they provide damage reduction. Let me just jump in and check. Yeah, increases Ariana's active damage. Oh, so it doesn't. Active damage to frontline enemies by 100%. So if you have her runes, she's going to be very effective against this frontline. Not very good for dealing with bosses, unfortunately. Now, Gloria is another case where she was really powerful when she was introduced. And the reason for that, when Gloria is alive, she reduces all enemies' damage dealt to frontline allies by 50%. Effectively came in to counter Ariana within the meta. And when Gloria is deployed, every 1 stack of buff gained by our allies will additionally increase the target's max HP by 10%, stacks up to 15 times, so an additional 150%. Not very difficult to get all of those buffs stacked. Now, a Gloria's is very, very specific. Her rune passive, when an ally is attacked by a Doomsday synergy mate, Gloria has a 100% chance to reduce the damage taken by our allies by 10% for 2 rounds, stacks up to 5 times, so you can get that additional 50% damage reduction against Doomsdayers. If you want to go ahead and invest that, if somebody in your server is running all Dooms all the time, they never change, then you can go ahead, get Gloria, and she will do the business against those Glorians. Now, Wu Zatan, I think Wu is the most powerful Glorian currently, and the reason for that is this passive here. When allies, not this one, this one. Wu Zatan casts a Blessing of Radiant Fortune on all allies, increasing damage boost by 50% and with a 75% chance to reduce damage taken by 75%. Now this goes up to 100% if you have her full epic runes. Blessed Glory's damage reduction trigger chance increases to 100%. This is one of my favourite abilities of all time, 75%. I did mention in a previous video that I think that Wu should have been a Monarch. If Wu was a Monarch, she would have been the most broken unit in the entire game, hands down. 75% damage reduction plus Monarch synergy is busted. But it is what it is. So what does she actually do? First things first, when allies successfully cast the Phantom Illusion effect, Wu Zatan will consume all buffs on the affected enemies. For every 1 buff consumed, her attack increased by 30% up to 1000%. So can be very effective if you are running units like Gaia, if you are running units like Hades, not Gaia, sorry, Lancelot and Hades. Hades doesn't apply, he applies the Soul Devourer. So it is just Wu, Aphrodite, and Lancelot. If you run those 3 together, Wu builds up very quickly. She does a lot of damage. This one, her Phantom Illusion effect will steal an enemy. So I'm just going to break this down. Phantom Illusion effect steals an enemy. Your entire team gets protected. All of the damage that would be done to your allies will go directly onto the unit that's captured. So again, very, very strong. I think personally, for me, the most powerful Glorian that we have. And then finally, Chang. Chang is a bit of an unknown to me. And it's because she just kept dying for me. Now, she does a lot here. Each time Chang takes action, she has a 100% chance to cast her ultimate. This effect triggers 1 time per round. Very, very powerful effect, but it only attacks frontline. And if those frontline have holy shields, this does nothing. So it is what it is. Each time Chang casts her ultimate, she increases the attack and max HP of herself and a random ally by 20%, stacking up to 10 times. So the more ultimate she does, the more powerful her and the rest of your team will become. Now her runes, I do not have her runes, but she increases physical damage reduction by 10%, 20% and 30% respectively. So can be very, very tanky if you do have her runes, but again, I do not. So let's jump into battle. We've only done 2 stages and we're up to 17 minutes. This is, it's a long one. I'm just going through every single Glorian within the synergy. Sorry, every single notable Glorian. There are a couple which I'm not going to go through. Maybe we'll go through Corolla. Maybe we won't. But I think what I'll do, we'll see these 2 matches. So we'll see this one here. We should see Chang do. Oh, not altogether too much damage. Yeah, we aren't doing very much at all. Flip it out. Why are we not doing anything? Might just be the synergy we've got. We do have our 3 strikers on here. So we've got Seraphina, we do have Gloria, and we have Chang as well. And we have 2 enchanters. So we have Wu and we have Ariana as well. Not expecting the enchanters to do very much. But this is also why we run Seraphina in seasonal content, is because of this. So because the Grace of Hunters will build up and will build up and will build up. And now Chang should start to do massive amounts of damage here. Yeah, so we're outputting a lot more damage than we were with Wu Zatan. As you can see, Chang doing massive amounts of damage even against those 2 enemies. Can be a very, very powerful tool, that damage, in order to wipe out enemies quickly. However, it's the build-up, and it's only in seasonal content. Please keep that in mind. This team is really only super effective in seasonal content. Again, the reason for that is the damage reduction is great from these 2, Ariana and Gloria, but they just don't do enough to compete in today's market, effectively. There are other units which you'd want to run, Audrey, for example, over Ariana, and we also have the new unit as well, that is Bahamut, and I will be showing Bahamut off in just a second, as well as Gwyn. Those two as a pair, very, very strong, so much so, in fact, that I decided, effectively, to pick Gwyn's runes up. I've not picked them up in ages. They are very, very strong. The Holy Shield especially. So we should see Chang finish off Sylvan here. Yep, doing fair amounts of damage. And then we'll see her double ultimate. Again, every time she takes action, she'll cast her ultimate. So when she does her ultimate, she'll ultimate again. So you can, with the right artifact setup, get her to ultimate a lot, and doing way more damage than Ariana, way more damage than Gloria as well, I believe. Yeah, way more damage, and it is only because Chang and Wu are doing so much damage that we get to see all of this. And the only reason that we're able to get Chang and Wu to do so much damage is because of the Grace of Hunters, and also because of the healing from Seraphina. That helps build us up quite dramatically. Now, Ariana to do a bit more damage on that one. Decent, but Wu still to do the most, and Chang to follow up with even more. Now, we are on the boss mission. Magic Vine loses 1 HP when performing a basic attack. I think this team will be fine against this this level 25 boss. If we do need to change things up, we will. I'm not going to go through how to beat this boss. In short, you can use Leviathan to reflect the attacks back to these vines. Those vines will take full damage from those, and they will die very, very quickly. We are looking to remove these holy shields as quickly as possible. There is one unit that can do that as well. That is Audrey. So if we were to change this up ever so slightly, then I would probably suggest taking Chang out. And again, the reason for that is because even though Chang does massive amounts of damage, we've seen her out damage Wu, we've seen her out damage Ariana and Gloria. Unfortunately, we're only attacking this front line, which can be very, very disruptive against this boss in particular, because we can't take down these guys here. What I might do, I might go ahead and skip this. I think this might be a loss, and as you can see, this is the reason why. So Chang is not very effective against these bosses whatsoever. I would not suggest running Chang in these boss matchups, because you're just not doing any damage to this back boss. He's building up his holy shield. You're not going to get through without certain specific units. Wu also is only attacking this front row. So again, this team is not built to take down bosses. You will not be able to take down bosses with this team. Ariana doing a little bit of work here, removing 2 stacks of Holy Shield. Gloria got to remove 2 stacks of Holy Shield here as well. But the boss still has 18 stacks of Holy Shield left. It may be that when these enemies go down, we are able to get where we need to. I think we're fully built up now as well. So, but again, I just don't see it. So what we'll do, we'll power through. I'm going to skip ahead. Yep, and we weren't able to beat him, so bear with me. Let me just pull up a team, Glorian team, and then we'll go ahead and beat this guy. Right, so we are back. I think this is the team. I do think this is the team, but we'll have to go ahead and see first. Now, the other thing that I was considering was taking out Talanas of this and putting Atrops in here to pair alongside our other strikers, keeping Wu on the front. Again, Wu is not going to do any damage against this boss, but what she will do is she will provide that 75% damage reduction to our team. Nawi, directly opposite this boss here, means that Nawi's going to do a lot of damage against this boss, and Audrey has the potential to steal those holy shields. So let's jump in with this team. I don't know if it's going to win or not, but I suspect we should be fine. If worst comes to worst, I'm just going to use Dahlia. Stick Dahlia where Audrey is. No proc from Nawi there, unfortunate. Now, do we steal these holy shields? Or can we steal these holy shields with Audrey? I don't think we do. I think Audrey's already taken action. Yeah, we don't steal this Holy Shield, unfortunately. I think we do need to hit this boss with Audrey in order to do it properly. I think we might need to change up our relics as well. So I think I will, if we do fail this one, I'm just going to go ahead, change up our relics, and then make sure that we can go ahead and pass the next time. So we get our build up here. Fortunately, Seraphina being faster than Atrops will allow us to do massive amounts of damage with Nawi once Atrops does provide that attack increase, and Audrey to do the same. Audrey's going to increase her attack quite drastically with Atrops on the team with that healing provided. Unfortunately, no proc from Nawi there, and we do not steal all of the boss's Holy Shields. Still got 18 stacks of Holy Shield left. Right, bear with me. No, we can't steal it. No, he's back up to 28. So let's go ahead and skip through. Yeah, unfortunate. It is what it is. Bear with me. There we go. I did have to power through. Couldn't beat it with that Glorians team. There's just not enough units on that Glorians team, unfortunately. But what I'm going to do, pause, and then we'll jump straight back into it. And here we are. So I think for me, this is personally the strongest Glorians team that I do have. Now I could go ahead and replace Gwyn with another unit like Chang, for example, to pair up with Seraphina. But I do want to pair Bahamut and Gwyn together. Bahamut I've not talked about, and Gwyn I've not really talked about in the video, so I'll go through them very quickly. Gwyn, whenever your team get attacked, you will gain attack stacks. Whenever you... and then for Bahamut, effectively she applies the immobilization, which... The easiest way I can describe immobilization is to have, when an enemy is hit with this tremor effect of Bahamut's, units cannot take action. Triggered effects of units cannot trigger. So it means that it blocks Aphrodite's steal effect, it blocks Hades' steal effect, it blocks Wu's steal effect if they have this tremor effect applied to them. It blocks any action taken. It blocks Eudora's secondary passive or secondary ultimates. It blocks Leviathan's reflect back to them. A very, very powerful effect indeed, and I think one that is going to control the meta moving forward. So effectively Glorians are more of an anti-control, but in this case you do have Bahamut who will apply this this effect. So we don't get any of Bahamut's effects activated here, but as you can see we are building up very, very quickly here. Now, we do take off a lot of holy armor, and we also take off a lot of holy armor there as well. Not doing altogether too much damage here, and Gwyn does have his runes and his passive effective as well. So, there we go, the miss. That's not bad. So we do get the ignore shield buff, which, as you can see, is going to be very, very effective. We will just ignore all of these enemy shields. As you can see, we ignored all of Atrops' here, and then we went ahead and stole Elune here, and then we can see Bahamut finish things off. She's doing a lot of damage already, not even fully built up yet, but again, very, very strong. Wu and Bahamut didn't even get Seraphina to proc. Again, I think this is the strongest Glorians team, in my opinion. Anyway, I've been wrong before, but in my opinion, this is probably your strongest Glorian setup. The only other unit that I could potentially see you including is, like I said, Chang, to have her included in there. But again, it's just not, it's not super viable to have her in, specifically in Rift Odyssey. Gwyn is a much more effective tool, increasing our attack as well. So as you can see, I think it's every time we attack, or maybe it's every time we hit an enemy. Or we're at our max attack. Yeah, we're already at our max attack stacks. That's why there's no more applying. And we do get the full build up here with thanks to Seraphina, double ultimating. And as you can see, putting a lot of work in, especially with that splash axe. Yes, we use a splash axe. Of course we do. But yeah, so Wu Zatan doing 99% of the damage here. Again, she is, in my opinion, the strongest Glorian that we've got. And I think we'll see here again. I know Bahamut that time, 50%, not bad. Bahamut as well, she does release 200% attack sorry, 200% of her HP, and applies that tremor, but it is really the tremor that you're looking for. The 200% max HP does come in handy because it does ignore defense, I believe. So she does, typically with a team like this, she will do 2,100 million base, and that's not including any HP ups either. So potentially you can power through. So here we're going to remove all this holy armor. We'll skip through and then we'll have a look at 30. I think this should be the last one. Yeah, here we go. So this should be the last one. Bear with me. All right, so let's jump into this final match against opposing Gwyn. Gwyn, he applies a curse, I believe. Yeah, applies curse on all enemies, reducing attack by 100%. Should be absolutely fine for us because he won't be able to apply it. That is another effective tool of the Glorian synergy, is that 8 control immunity. They cannot have these buffs applied to them, like Gwyn, like Emily, for example. Emily applies the plague effect, I believe, but Gwyn cannot apply this curse effect to us. And again, the reason for that is because we have the 100% control immunity with full 5 Glorians on the team. So, yeah, there we go. There's Gwyn trying to apply that curse on us. Doesn't work because we have that 100% control immunity for the first 8 rounds. If you go in more than 8 rounds against this Gwyn, there's probably an issue somewhere. But yeah, absolutely fine. We do go ahead and steal enemy Themis as well. Not bad, and we just need one more hit, and this probably will be a Bahamut's. Yep. All sorted, and we do get the splash damage as well, which is not bad. So we'll take that. Wu, again, proving why she is the strongest Glorian. So that is it from me. Just want to say thanks very much for watching. Hope it's been informative, and let me know if you like this type of content. If not, then we can just return to skipping through all of these without any explanation whatsoever. And you can just sit and watch my face as I frustratingly try and get through. Just trying to make this as informative and educational as possible for you. So thanks very much. You have a great day.